We're chatting to Candice Bass-Robinson about her runners at Hollywood Bets Kenilworth on Saturday, the 13th of April. Candice, thanks ever so much for making time for us. So busy card for you, starting out with race 1, the 1,000-metre maiden juvenile plate for fillies. 4 runners, 2 having their debut run. So we're starting with Scarlett McCaw. What can you tell us about her?
Yeah, she had a good debut effort in a colts race, actually. She was, she did everything pretty well. She wasn't too green. She ran on very nicely. So I would like to think that she's coming from that run. Obviously, quite a different field we're taking on this time. It's a big field, big group of runners. She's a little bit on the hot side and she likes to get on with things a little bit. But I think if she settles like she did first time out, I think she'll run a good race.
She's joined by Poetic Princess. She's also had 1 debut run under their belt. How's she come on from there?
She's very green first time out. She's actually a very nice filly, but very green on debut. She's come on quite nicely at home. I think she will run a much better race this time, but perhaps maybe just needing 1 more before she's ready. And then the other 2, both first timers, both going to need their efforts, their experience first time out. 2 nice fillies, but a little bit green still, and will probably need the experience.
Moving on to race 2, 1,600 metre class 5, you're saddling Lord Fifield. Has won over 1,800 metres before. Looks like he's coming down in the merit ratings here a little bit. You have sharpened him up over the 1,400. So what are you expecting from him on Saturday?
Yeah, he's been too high in the ratings. I think they overrated him winning his maiden. It took him a little while to win his maiden. He won a fairly weak race, and he hasn't done much since. He's obviously come down in the ratings now. Got him over the mile. There was a choice between the 1,800 and the mile, but the mile looked like a weaker field. It's a very weak race looking at it, and if he doesn't find it a little bit on the sharp side, then he should be able to at least finish in the money here.
Race 5, 1,400 metre class 4 for fillies and mares. You're saddling Call Me Getrix. She's got the 4 draw. Does have to shoulder 62 though. And you've got the blinkers on her. So she's had 2 wins over 14 and 16, and just trying back down to the 14 here.
Yeah, I've got her back down in trip. I think it was possibly a little bit too far for her last time. She's had a bit of a break, so she's nice and fresh for the 14. Obviously a big weight of 62. But she's doing really nicely at home. She might just need her run a little bit, but coming back fresh over 1,400, I think she'll be running on nicely.
Super. Then going on to race 6, we've got the 1,600 metre class 3. You're sending out Weather King, drawn 3 with Gareth Wright on board. Has had 2 wins over 2,000 at Juvenile, and then has been going out over 1,800. So again, you're just bringing him down in trip again here?
Yeah, well, it was also a choice of the 18 or the 16. The 1,800, he had 62 kilos on his back. It's a lot of weight to carry for a 3-year-old over 1,800. He's also a little bit high in the ratings. I don't know why my horses have always got such high ratings, but anyway, be that as it may, it is what it is. So I've opted to run him over the mile. It's a stronger race. It's a fairly competitive field, and he's doing nicely at home. He needed his last run quite badly, so I think he would have come on from that, but might be a little bit on the tough side for him, but so perhaps a money chance, I think, at best.
Okay. Race 8, 1,800 metre class 4, you're sending out Diamond Rock, drawn 3, Gareth Wright on board, won over a mile in September, has been gelded, and it just seems as though you've been slowly bringing him along. So how's he going?
Yeah, he's unfortunately had quite a few niggles, which have not been easy to get on top of. So his form is not quite what it should be. He showed a lot as a young horse prior to winning his maiden, and then he got gelded. And he just hasn't quite been the same since then. So it's been a bit frustrating with him. Obviously looking for this sort of trip, but he's going to need to, I think, really get himself back to best before I can confidently say that I fancy his chances. But it was a pity because he was actually a really nice horse. But as I say, since the gelding, he's just not quite been the same.
Race 9, 1,200 metre class 4. You've got 3 on the card, starting with Rugerun, Night Tiger, and then No Apologies. Big field, and I know No Apologies is still in there as a reserve runner, but what can you tell us about these 3?
Okay, so Night Tiger, obviously always consistent, loves this trip, loves this course. He's got a big weight this time again, but looking at the field, he should be competitive again, and he'll always have a good each way chance, and he's never far off them if not. No Apologies, having his first run back. Sprints obviously will be on the sharp side for him, so he's just basically having a gallop back. Rogaroon, yeah. He too also ridiculously high in the ratings, got a 12 penalty penalty for winning a weak work riders race. So he definitely needs to come down in the ratings. It'll be too strong for him. I think he's probably 12 points too high. So can't really fancy his chances in this field.
And then closing off the day in race 10, the 1100 metre class 4 for fillies and mares. You're sending out Gimme the Waltz, drawn 13 with Aldo on board. Seems to like the shorter distances. How's she going?
Yeah, she's very keen. She was very keen last time. She over-raced quite badly, so you can probably put a line through that last run. I think her form's better than that. She obviously needs to be given a bit of a chance in the running. So hopefully, she will do that on Saturday. If she does that, she certainly does have the ability to be competitive in a field like this. She's doing nicely at home, and it's just a matter of getting her to settle.
And then Give Me the Waltz is joined by Love Shack. How is she doing at the moment?
She's obviously just won her maiden. She took some time to win her maiden. Very consistent little filly. She's actually strengthened up and improved quite nicely now, and she may well follow up with a decent run. She's doing nicely at home. It's a little hard to assess where she fits in with some of these fillies, but she's in good shape. She's fitting well, and I don't think she'll be too far off them.